Good afternoon again from Green Island Gardens. Beautiful sunny September afternoon. Love lots of colour in the gardens this year. It's been an amazing summer with all the water we've had through the summer months. The gardens are probably looking their best they've ever done in September. But this afternoon I want to share with you a fairly unusual plant that's not often seen in people's gardens or garden centres and nurseries. But yet it's a really valuable plant in garden design terms, gives a bit of late summer colour, and it's very, very easy to grow. And the family I'm talking about is Clerodendrum. So the first one I'm going to show you is Clerodendron trichotomum, which makes a small tree, or I like to think of it as a large shrub really. It has a slightly suckering habit. It's a deciduous tree. It comes from China, and it has the common name of the Harlequin glory bower tree, or alternatively, peanut butter tree, or the peanut tree. And the reason for that is if you crush the leaves, they have a slightly bittery, almost like peanut scent. And in China, they do actually sometimes eat the young shoots and stems, although I'm sure they can't be very tasty. But it does have a lot of medicinal properties as well, and is used as an analgesic and also in treating rheumatism and various other ailments. So lots of medicinal value. It has these lovely sort of almost heart-shaped leaves, attractive foliage, and then these gorgeous, gorgeous, beautifully scented white flowers coming from these red calyces. And actually the red calyx, the deep maroony red colour, I think is what gives the flowers such an attractive appearance. But I say beautiful scent, which is completely at polar ends with the scent of the leaves, which are really quite noxious. But never mind, it's still a beautiful tree. It has a really long flowering period, so looks good at late summer, which is often a difficult time of year to find shrubs that produce flowers. And then following on from the flowers, we get these lovely blue berries, which mature from a bright metallic blue through to black by the time they're finished. This one's growing in the middle of one of our beds, and in hindsight I might not have planted it here because it does actually have a bit of a suckering habit. So we find little shoots of it coming up at various places in the bed. However, for us that's great because we just dig them up, pot them up, and that's the way we propagate more. But it might become a nuisance if you wanted to plant one in your own flower bed at home. It likes a moist, well-drained soil, and a sunny spot is ideal. But ideally, I would plant this as a specimen in some grass so that where it sends up suckers, they would just be mown over and it wouldn't become a problem. There is another cultivar, a variety called Clerodendron trichotomum fargesii. And this one is said to be slightly more hardy, slightly smaller in growth, and the flowers on it are not quite as, the calyces aren't as bright, so the flowers are definitely more white. It's very prolific flowerer and berrier, and it's said to be slightly more hardy, although I've never had a problem with any of the Clerodendrums in our gardens, and we've had summers that have gone, winters, sorry, that have gone down to -10 and -15, and we've never lost them. So I think it would really be a combination of a very exposed northern garden and a wet winter that would kill it. But even if it gets killed off at the top, because it has the suckering habit, you'd be very unlucky to lose it altogether. So why not give this one a try? So the other type of Clerodendron that we grow here at Green Island Gardens is Clerodendrum bungii. This, I'm afraid, does look a bit of a straggly specimen, and this is actually last year's growth. Clerodendrum bungii is a suckering shrub, as the other one is, and you can see it's got new growth at the bottom and this older growth at the top. This is struggling because it got very, very dry last summer. These new shoots are this year's growth, and with all that lovely rain we've had this year, they've come up beautifully lush, much, much bigger leaves and larger flower heads. We have got one flower head left here. Quite different to Clerodendron trichotomum. Lovely pink flowers, big heads of them, and again beautifully scented, but a more fruity, sweet smell than the other one. Again, the leaves have that peanutty scent, not particularly pleasant, but the foliage I think is really attractive. It has this dark, almost maroony colour to it, which gives the plant an extra dimension. Common names: the rose glory bower, or the glory flower, and it is, as the other one, native to China, but it has escaped in places where it's naturalized in America, north and south now. So it has another name of the Mexican hydrangea. And I can see where it gets that name from, although these common names are terribly confusing, with these lovely heads, similar to a mop head hydrangea type of flower. It does like moist enough conditions. So when we have a very dry summer, as we did last year, we only get 2 or 3 of these shoots. And really what we should have done was pruned those right back to the ground in the spring, and that would have promoted more of these new growths, which are this year's growths here. And we see there's a couple of flowers still remaining, but it does flower slightly earlier than the other Clerodendrum. But both of them are definitely garden worthy plants. They're very easy to grow. If you can't find one in your local garden centre or nursery, we always have them available in our nursery here, and we do offer mail order. So why not give one of them a try? Once again, thank you very much for watching, and please remember to like and subscribe our channel.